And are we live? Are we live? Are we live? Think we're live? Looks like we might be live. Alright. And it looks, according to YouTube, that I am live. Let me hit mute as soon as it fully loads. According to YouTube. Yep, there we are. We are now live. Things are running smoothly. Let's see. No, we want to go this way. Well, hello there, Hot Wheels. Thank you for coming in. Basically, decided to count down to the new year. And thank you for coming. Going to be doing what I normally do. I haven't changed anything that I'm supposed to be doing yet. I'm still slowly getting used to StreamYard. StreamYard is not. I just been using it for about a month, so I'm still slowly learning on how to do things. But let's go back over to the workbench, and we shall continue what I've been doing. Let me change seating positions. So, Hot Wheels collector, what brings you to my fun stream? I'm assuming you were looking for things that had to do with the countdown for New Year's, and saw mine. And it's greatly appreciated. I'm going to assume that since this was sort of unannounced, I'm assuming my regular people in the chat are not going to be in today or this evening. All right. And unfortunately, let's see. There we are. So I knock everything over. Basically, what I'm doing at this point is finishing off a couple of model train cars that I recently purchased. And I'm almost done with this tank car. Right now, I'm just finishing to get the brake wheel on. Oops, so they don't drop the pin. So, yeah, I'm not unfortunately, even though I've been doing this for about a year, I still haven't optimized the studio for live streaming. When I started a year ago, I believe it was a year ago today, it was to do something because I was unemployed. Humanity Junction, Heath from Humanity Junction kept on saying, "Hey, start a YouTube channel, start a YouTube channel." So I did. And it was something to do when I was unemployed. then I did something silly and got employed. So I haven't been on top of marketing and all that fun stuff. But oh, was not expecting that. But both these models that I'm doing right now, that there for now, are from Conguino Models. This is their 25-foot tank car, and also what they call their bobber caboose, which is a little bit smaller than their 25-foot boxcar. So well, I guess I have thanks to YouTube for the recommendation. If when I first started out, I was getting a lot of people jumping on, and then when I got employed, I wasn't really on top of things, so growth has slowed down. I was expecting to go be a little bit higher, but then it got to the point of, I'll eventually get there. And it's been actually very therapeutic live streaming because I am in Arlington, Vermont. I moved here just before the pandemic, and it's definitely a challenge meeting people during a pandemic. The job that got me here, unfortunately, I wound up losing that. I was working at a plant where making artificial knees, and artificial knees were not is not a forgot what they called it. It was like they wanted to make sure that it was for emergency use only for that. Well, hello, plumber. Thank you for coming in. Was not sort of kind of not. I was sort of a little slightly surprised seeing you here. I would assume that you would be out partying, but I guess I was wrong. There we go. Finally moves. Yeah, Hot Wheels was recommended by YouTube, and he showed up pretty much almost when I first started on broadcasting. All right, now the challenge is trying to figure out how to go with this. Actually, wait a second. Let me add this little detail here. All the other models I've done with the Conguino, I don't think had these smaller little pieces. So it looks like I was expecting to be doing this, sort of like a sort of like by myself thing and all that, and be basically just talking to a camera. But with Hot Wheels and the plumber here, that's not going to be the case. All right, let's see how far we're going to have to go down with this. Yeah, I guess that will work appropriately. Now turn around and get some. What's left of this super glue. Alright. I think that super glue is dead. I think I got as much as I probably can go and get out of it. So that's why I like these little itty bitty, the smaller individual ones, because if it winds up getting all glued up and all that, you don't lose that much. You don't lose much. All right, let's see. So again, not losing much. It seems that it's a little. There it goes. That was a lot more than I expected, but it is what it is. Turn around and add super glue to the appropriate pieces. Goes plastic in. Because plastic and wood has a hard time sticking to each other. There we go. All right, once that all dries, we'll clip the pin off, and then I'll go back to this 6 minutes to the new year. Oh, why thank you, plumber. Dioramas are not my original idea, but it's nice to know the HOT kettle. Huh? Are you talking? You talking about the Lifelike tea kettle, which I happen to have one. One of the things that I've been doing, or in the process of doing, is doing broad gauge railroads, and basically this particular locomotive was not considered one of the best models out there. In fact, one of the gears on this had, when I took it apart for the first time, the one gear just fell completely out. I think a bunch of the gears on this are cracked, but since I'm planning on doing this in broad gauge, the wheels, basically, if I screw it up, I'm not really worried about the more. So Wow. There is a. I'm not sure if you ever heard of. Well, I hope I'm getting this one correct. SMT Mainline. He actually did a complete teardown of a model of a version of this, which someone tried to fix it before and didn't quite work out. He got a I think it's an early newer version than this. This is an early version because this has an open frame motor. And the one that he had was not it was it had a can motor in it. This one has an open frame. I guess they made these for a lot of years and all that. Not a great performing locomotive. It's slightly out of scale because it's not HO scale. I think it's let's see. Now that the normal. Let's see, how wide is this thing? This is 9.5 feet wide, and the thing is that the loading gauge for America locomotives or America, I mean, even to this day, is only 10 foot wide. So this is slightly under 10. Slightly under 10. It's not O scale, not HO scale. So, yeah, it's about a scale 6 inches short to modern equipment. Not sure what year this is supposed to be, but this does have a lot of issues. The smokestack is not lined up with the cylinders. The headlight's a little bit farther back. It's not very well. Good pickup on it. Also, the quartering is not the best on this. Both wheels are powered on one that has all working wheels, but this one, one of the gears are out, so that's why this wheel, the front wheels move, but the back ones don't. Not quite sure if I'm gonna, when regauging this, I'm not quite sure if I'm gonna rebuild the side rods, get new side rods that don't have as much slop in it. And all right, did ice? Yes, it looks like I have just. It is now past midnight here in Vermont. So my plan was to do a countdown, but I wasn't keeping track of the time. Yes. All right, you already saw it. All right, Happy New Year. And yeah, I think I'm going for possibly a full hour. Just because, it's like I don't have to go to work tomorrow. Well, it's a Sunday, so I don't have to work on Sunday anyway, but yeah, right now the interesting thing is with the bobber caboose, or bobber, what's called the bobber boxcar. It uses the Lebel bobber caboose truck, which has built-in toolboxes. The way I'm looking at it is that this one didn't go together as nicely as I wanted, but I have 3 more, and I think with the other 3, And doesn't want to stay together either. Let's see about roughening this up. Is to my plan is for the other ones to actually cut out the toolboxes, because it is not how the prototypes were. I was actually surprised to find out that in the era that I do model, they had the four-wheeled equipment, and let's move this around a little bit. Let's see a fresh spot. And yeah, because normally when you think of four-wheel prototypes, that's England and European stuff. But apparently, in the early times of United States, they also had them. So, and then I was planning on building my own, and then Congarina Models turned around and came up with their four-wheel version. So I abandoned that and decided to do Chris Corse's, who's the owner of Congarina Models, do his model. Now, it's not an actual prototype, just like his other stuff, like this 25-foot boxcar. He actually puts on there, it's not an actual prototype, but something that's sort of like general. Basically took the common elements, like the zigzag door, the ladder. Actually, he doesn't doesn't quite have the stuff for the brake wheel, but that's one thing I added. Also, he has it set up where he's got the number 56 couplers. I have 711 couplers, mainly because I still have a lot. When I first heard about the 711 coupler, I thought the guy was sort of like going like, yeah, they don't make a 711 coupler. And believe it or not, they do. What the 711 coupler is actually the 714 narrow gauge coupler, but they have a longer trip pin so it can be used on standard gauge. They call it the three-quarter scale coupler, which is not true, because the KD number 5, which is considered scale, is actually oversized. So this actually is a little bit closer to the correct size. Okay, now let's see. Now this particular car definitely has a challenge to it, because you got to put the wheels in. Put the wheels in first. Add the glue, and hopefully everything fits in at the same time. Okay, let's put this over here so we don't get glue on the board. I would have to say, if you're interested in a little bit of a challenge, this kit seems to be a little bit of a challenge. Well, I try to follow the directions closely as possible, but the directions are not. They don't seem to be very well written this time. They unfortunately did a lot of copy and pasting, and some of the copy and pasting does not fit with this car. Basically, they took basically this size car and decided, oh well, we'll just copy and paste. And it's like, yeah, it's not quite there. They did do some modifications that are required. All right, plumber, thank you for coming. Not sure. They said I'm not really set up. The monitor is unfortunately over there, not in front of me, so you got to actually concentrate on actually looking over to the side every now and then. Okay. But yeah, I'm planning on leaving the battery boxes on this one to sort of make it easier to signify that, oh, wait a minute, this is the first one I did, so it's not as nice as I would like. So we'll do that. Oversaturate this time, and then maybe this will stay on. Thing is that when I first started buying these, they used to come in, like 6 or 8 packs and all that. Now they're coming out in 3 and 2 packs, but yet they're the same price. So it's sort of skimpflation in full force. I don't have an accelerator for this, so leave that upside down for now. Now up next, we'll use these. Clip that off. Dink. And where can we put this where it won't stab me? And we'll put it right there. Oops. Just gotta grab it this way. There we go. That should keep it from going into me. All right, now this. All right, looks like we need 4 more. 4 more. Well, we only have room for 3, but those 3, and I could say, well, except for paint, I could say that one. This one is done. So Hot Wheels, where are you located at? Usually I know on New Year's, when the clock lets down and all that, everyone just says, oh, okay, it's after midnight, time to go to bed. But I am sort of kind of interested in where people watch from. Being from the Vermont, that makes definitely the East Coast. East Coast of the United States. DES Productions. Hello there. South Carolina. Nice. Well, thank you, DES, for coming on. You just missed the plumber, 33. Yeah, actually, Heath from Humanity Junction, who got me doing YouTube videos, he saw my last one and said, 31? There's 52 weeks in the year. And it's like, well, yeah, he's correct. I want to say I've averaged one a week. There has been times that, well, sometimes due to life and all that, I wasn't able to do one every single week, and sometimes I did twice a week. And this particular live stream actually has crossed over to that of being done twice a week. I am normally I do well. I first started off doing Thursdays at 7:30. Then after being employed, it wound up being a little bit of a challenge to do that. So I moved to Fridays at 3:30, just before Anthony dodges. Originally, I was actually sort of slightly in conflict with his, but after realizing that and wanting to see what he does, which is, I want to say I like Anthony Dodge more for, I guess, him. He's a recently retired German teacher, and he runs Markland, which at first I'm like, I'm not really into Markland. But seems that him and his wife sort of won me over. All right, now let's see if we can flip this without those falling out. And we'll glue them from the back. Oh, looks like I got more on this end. Not going to get them from the back. All right, so let's see if we can add a drop there, add a drop there. Drop that actually touches. And we'll go there. And then we'll switch over to this side. But what am I doing this time of the day, Kyle? Well, my original plan was to count down for New Year's. And, Rick sort of also snuck in. Well, hello and Happy New Year. That was the original plan. And then I got, doing the malls and forgot to keep looking at the clock. I'm just only planning on running for maybe an hour and all that, and then heading off to bed. Sort of still wide awake. And I would have to say, Rick, I have not seen your mini prints yet, so I'm not quite sure. Um, and I don't have a tracking number, so I don't know how far it is from hitting Vermont. I'm assuming for the holidays, it is a slight delay. I'm also assuming that you didn't do it next day air also. I think as soon as these nut and bolt washers are done, I will be done with the tank car. And it looks like I'm one nut bolt because I can't put the one nut bolt, the one casting in because of the let's see if I can. It's gonna definitely be a challenge because of where it is. Gotcha, Kyle. So, Kyle, are you one of these ones that have the night shift, or just like to stay up late? Might be able to get this in. It looks like it wants to go in. It went in. All right. So I guess that was a solid yeah. So you don't have to worry about gluing it right away. So I guess I can turn around and this set is done. Okay, that explains why that's why you're here. Central time. All right. Yeah, I have never done third shift. I've done second shift, but I've never done just getting my center wire on. Why even have the bell? I honestly don't know. I myself, out of all the ones that I've actually have subscribed to and all that, I have never hit the notification bell. But it's also nice to know that you are a little bit on the overnight side, I guess you would call it, which a lot of I mean, that's an untapped market. It's like with everyone that does the third shift. All right. But since I work first shift, that's not going to be my normal hours. I am planning on changing my hours. Possibly thinking on doing sort of like being a pre-show to Sidetrack Sundays. Because I noticed that there's times that I want to do something on a Friday, but then I'm like, I can't really go anywhere because if I wind up getting too late or something that usually doesn't happen. So I thought Fridays would be the way to go, but unfortunately for me personally, that doesn't quite work. So that's why I'm thinking of doing a Sunday just before the Sidetrack Sunday group. And this one doesn't quite want to go in because I didn't cut it right. But that little piece there is hanging out. All right, that's not going to go in, so let's see about trimming that if I can. Get it? Yeah, I think I got it. All right, let's try this one more time. Yeah, but that little, I think Adam Savage calls them grubbins. I think. Could be wrong. All right, that fit in backwards. Now let's see if we can have it go in the other direction. Okay, it fell out and it bounced to there. And there it goes. Oof. That's a while. Yeah, let's say at least with second shift, you're on the same sleeping pattern as the rest of the world that works the first shift. But third shift, yeah, that's that winds up being a little, I would assume, very rough. But hopefully this year you'll get back to first shift. But then again, that's why third shift is usually has a higher has a I'm trying to think what's it called. I don't want to say it's pay schedule, but the pay is different. But I forgot exactly what it's. Ooh, don't you dare. Yeah, it's a different. There we go. Move that way to hide the mystery hole next underneath it. There we go. I think it's called shift scale, or is it shift scale, or I don't know. All I know is that there is a word for it, and I'm just not thinking about it at this particular point in time. Oh, nice. That actually fell right in. All right. So that, up next for this is painting. Hey. Yes, you're supposed to get glue, but stay there. There we go. We got that. Flip this over, and we'll tag the last one. All right, except for paint, I believe that is all done. And now we go over to this out of the way. And we'll start putting, and I wound up putting rocks in this and gluing them in. That's why they're not moving. To weigh the car down. It's a very light car. And that's why the suggestion for it that it should weigh 2.5 ounces. It starts out at just under an ounce. So that's why I wound up filling the car up. Now, take the car and night shift differential, you think? That's a possibility. Also, different areas might name it slightly different. Different companies would, have different things. So you might be completely right, but I'm too tired to too tired right now to argue with anybody. Plus it's a new year. Now, one thing I didn't realize is that a lot of times with wooden kits, especially if they have like paper roofs or something like that, they seem to be very much a challenge when it comes to warping. I did this in the summertime and all that, so the humidity was there to keep it from warping. But this I'm doing now, and everything's all dried out. So every time you add water or something very similar to it, it just warps like crazy. So a lot of times instead of using PVA glue, wound up having to use super glue because the super glue doesn't saturate as much, and plus it doesn't have water. All right. There are times like this I wish I had Band-Aids. Because Band-Aids would work really nice right about now. or not Band-Aids, rubber bands. That's what I meant to say. Because there's no real good way to keep this clamped down. There was one time that I used something, but yeah, the next the other ones that I make, like for this, I'm gonna actually do the couplers and the trucks last, because you wind up with better operations of keeping stuff glued down. Well, hello there, Heath. Speaking of the guy who got me into doing live streams, yours must have been burning, because I have been talking about you. Well, I would have to say, I believe when my first live stream was exactly on New Year's Eve. So, but also, as I was explaining earlier, I think I averaged about 2 a year, or a live stream a week. Or sometimes I wound up sometimes have to miss sometimes, and sometimes I did twice in a week. But looks like Kyle has left for the going back to work. So it must have been on his lunch hour, because he was saying that he works third shift. So this would be, let's see, 7 to 5. Not quite lunchtime. If it was split down the middle, it would have been 11. But hopefully this will be a happy new year for everyone. But I got 3 more of these particular box cars. The 4-wheel box car. It uses the LaBelle bobber caboose wheel sets, or wheel truck, or whatever it's called. And because of that, that's why it has these boxes. They're toolboxes on the bottom. My idea is to, for the next ones and all that, actually cut those completely out. But because right now I don't have a good way to clamp this down by the way this is set up. And I don't have any rubber bands, which would work. Putting one on each end. Not quite sure one in the center would work. But yeah. So, well, I would have to say it looks like my hour is up. And it was basically just a kind of in the new year, which I didn't do because I forgot to keep track of everything. But all right, well, put that there. And we'll switch positions. Make all sorts of noise. And now to switch cameras. All right. Well, thanks everyone from coming in, especially Hot Wheels Collector 95. If you're still here, apparently you two had recommended him and he joined about 2 minutes after I started broadcasting, and hopefully I didn't bore him. I try not to be boring, but I am sort of, a little on the tired side right now. So if that happened, it happened. But, he is still here. Well, thank you. Thank you very much, Hot Wheels Collector 95. Good luck with the tea kettle locomotive. As I said before, it was a very low quality locomotive, so don't expect high performance out of it. But I would have to say it would be a very nice locomotive to experiment with, and if it breaks, oh well, I wouldn't put too much effort into getting it working properly. I mean, there's a good chance after what I'm planning on doing with mine, it might not have much of the original left. But thanks everyone for coming, and enjoy the new year, and making sure that you can party all you want. Just making sure that don't party so much that requires to have flashing lights to be there legally. If they're there, they don't have to be there. But if there's flashing lights, that's a good thing. But if they are required there by law, that's usually not a good sign. And thanks for everyone for coming. And the way I look at it is that I believe the world needs more love. So find your passion, add some silliness to it, and then spread it around.